Hi, Mary Alice back here with you. I hope you're having great days ahead. I hope things that I've been sharing with you have been helpful and enlightening and getting you to a place where you begin to really love yourself and feel good about yourself. And go back and re-listen to what I've been sharing, because oftentimes it's not just the one time when we listen to something or read something that we absorb it fully. So feel free to go back and listen some more under any of the topics that we've discussed so far. It's there to help you and encourage you and just remind you that you are very special in this world and that you are amazing. And today I'm going to say something. I don't know how much longer I'll be doing these live. The content that I've used so far, that I've shared with you, has been exhaustive as far as my content, my material, and the things I've studied and researched over the years. Of course, we can go much, much deeper with all these topics, but being YouTube and time constraints and all that, I'm keeping it just the way it is right now. And I had vision, and I had hoped there would be a lot more people interested in their own personal growth and development. I'm not very good at marketing. I don't know how to get this out and about. I've shared with people all that I can on different platforms. So yeah, it just is what it is. But at least the recordings are here. And what I hope and trust that down the road, anybody searching or looking up information that I've shared so far, they can find it and it'll be helpful for them. So yeah, that's why I'm here. So I'm not sure. Hi, Sherry. So I'm not sure how much longer I'll be going live, but at least Friday I'll make a decision. It's not that I won't put on videos once in a while or whatever, but yeah, going live, I'm not sure. We'll just play it by ear, because I think I'd hope there'd be more interaction and more people and get questions and answers and do all that. I would have loved to have had people here to interview, a lot of people to interview that I think would be helpful for all of us. So I don't know if that'll happen, but we'll see. I never say never. But today, what I wanted to talk about was really how do we up-level our thinking and our minds? Because we've talked about some kind of very serious things like depression and grief. We've talked about childhood trauma. We've talked about the seriousness of these parts of life that affect millions and millions of people. And so today I want to just be a little helpful, hopefully, and get across what is one way, there are several, but what's one way we can help ourselves to hit those spots in us that are the ones that tell us you're not enough, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not thin enough. All those kind of shame-based statements that are kind of stuck in a lot of our paradigms, aren't they, within the mind? And they're subconscious, but they find their way up into how we respond to life. Because remember, the subconscious mind is the emotional mind. And the emotional mind, it's connected to what is our awareness of our emotions? What is our awareness of how we react or respond to things in our life, which are connected to the triggers in our life, which is connected to our inner child. So this is what I've been really hoping to get across, that all these subject matters I've been talking about are connected, they're interconnected. And when we can boost one of those areas, we can kind of like boost the others. And it does take awareness and it does take practice. And it's just allowing ourselves to be open to that, to to want to change certain areas or certain ways of how we think about ourselves. So a lot of us, many people, and I know highly successful people who still struggle with, did they do that right? Are they good enough? Is this, are they going to be happy? You know, all those questions that we wonder about, right? There, we all want to be affirmed. We all want to be appreciated. We all want to be told, you know, we did a good job, or thank you. Yeah, we want to hear it because it's not necessarily ego, although some people, that's the only way they can get through life is if you stroke their ego, which is a sad commentary. We discussed that sort of mental illness. But the thing is, I think the majority of us, we want to hear it. We kind of need to hear it so we get feedback so that we know that all the effort we put into a project or the job or an art piece or a poetry or music or whatever it is that we're doing, we want to have that affirmation. We want to know that it was received well, it was understood, it was a good project, you worked hard, you did well. I can't imagine it, you know, being different, or I learned so much from you, or we all want that, right? Because that's the feedback. It's like being children, which is why we struggle. It's why we struggle. Because as children, if we're not getting the feedback of, wow, honey, that was a job well done, thank you, you know, or a child bringing home even a paper that might be a C or B, it's like, look, did you do your best? That's really good. Good job. How do you want to improve? What would you like to do better? Like giving the child an opportunity to have a way in which to improve if they needed to improve maybe a grade or an understanding of a subject matter. It's not putting them down or saying you could have done better, or I expected an A out of you. That does nothing. So when we can start young and affirm our children in a good way, not overly, not like you're the best in the world, you know, that kind of thing, and like nobody can do it better than you kind of thing, because that's unrealistic, but just to affirm their effort or discuss with them, do you think you could have done this differently, or what did you learn in the meantime, or just bring about discussions like that. So I want to talk about affirmations because I know that word is so cliche. It's like, oh, affirmations, everybody's talking about affirmations. Yes. Well, how do they work and why don't they work sometimes? That's what I want to talk about. Affirmations for ourselves is a way in which we can help upgrade and uplevel our own minds and our own feelings about ourselves and thoughts about ourselves. And the way they work is it's repetition, and it's through feeling and through awareness. The way they work is when we are aware of what immediately happens. Pardon me, what immediately happens if we are sitting quietly, maybe meditating, or maybe we have some beautiful music behind us. We're saying, I have a few here. Where did I do my glasses? So yeah, I have a few here. So let's say you're saying, I am enough. What happens? Immediately, that little part of us is going, oh, no, you're not. Don't believe that. Why would you believe that? You're not enough. You know you're not enough. You're not smart enough here. You're not this. You're not, it's like suddenly our mind goes on overdrive with all the negatives because we're trying to tell ourselves, I am enough. I am in this moment, in this time, I am enough. Tomorrow, I might even be a smidge better. But if we can, first of all, say these affirmations, understanding that we're in this very moment. So right now, this moment, not tomorrow, not what happened yesterday, not 10 years from now, but just being mindful of the moment. And just know going into some practicing some affirmations is that For this moment, I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. And then when these little voices want to come up and go, who are you kidding? You've got to be kidding. You're not enough. You know, and all these like crappy old negative voices, usually they're old tapes. We might have heard things from other people or even our parents that are like old recordings. We can override that. Because when we're aware that it's happening, we can override it and say, get out of here. I am enough today. I am right now in this minute. I am enough. And we can override, and you can put a smile on your face and you can feel it. When we can begin to feel the affirmations, it really subdues that that primal part of the brain, the primitive part of the brain that wants to go, oh no, you're not. And why? Here's the other thing I want you to understand. Why do we hear these negative things? I bet you can remember. I bet you recall. The primitive part of the brain, it wants to keep us safe and in our comfort zone. So it tells us all these remarkably negative things to pull us back into that comfort zone, even though we're miserable in it. There are a lot of people living miserably in a comfort zone. I know I did. I can think of times in my life when I did until I realized what was happening. So it's the part of the brain that just is, it has that tendency to like an elastic band, just pull us back. And then we go into this rumination of, well, who do you think you are? Maybe there's a religious connotation. Well, you can't think good things about yourself. That's a sin, or that's wrong, or that. And it's like such BS. Because if we can understand that the beautiful, divine, creative force of life loves us immeasurably, who are we to put ourselves down? Who are we to put ourselves down? It's not right and it's not fair to anybody, because it's not fair to us. And it's not fair in the ways we can have a voice and improve and share our talents and gifts and everything that will be helpful and motivational, inspirational to somebody else. So if we think of it in that context, that affirmations aren't about, and self-love is not about pride and ego. It's not at all. It's respecting who you are. It's like respecting someone you love, respecting a friend, your parents. It's honoring yourself like you honor other people in your life. It's giving you an affirmation of, I'm okay. I'm enough. Knowing tomorrow or the next day, we do a little better, but just for this moment. So if we can keep that in mind as we approach moments of self-affirmation, it can help us understand when the negative parts come, when the negative, we begin to hear that, no, you're not. Who do you think you are? You're not supposed to be this, oh gosh. And I think I shared with you, there are cultures that have that dysfunctional thought pattern because they have caste systems, or they used to have caste systems, but they still implement them, even though they're more democratic, quote unquote. They still have that old mindset of, who do you think you are? How can you dream that dream? What makes you think you can have that or be that or do that? You come from nothing. No one's going to believe you. So it's embedded in us culturally in some parts of the world, and just maybe within families. So we got to get over that. We have to get over it and understand that it's okay to love yourself. Because if we don't love ourselves, how are we going to love others? You can't give out what you don't have. And so, again, it's not about ego. It's not about pride or false pride or thinking I'm all that. It's not about that, because when you love yourself, you realize we even out the playing field. We begin to not put people on pedestals and not put people in the mud through criticism. We begin to see people on an even level. It's not that economically everybody's even, but just as who they are as people. And then you begin to realize, at least I think you should or could realize that, wow, if they did that, I could do that too. Because we stop idolizing them. We stop putting them on pedestals. And you realize that you have just as much going in your life as they do. Now, it's going to come across differently depending on what your talents and abilities are, what your passions are, what career you're headed to, what you want to accomplish in life, in different areas of our lives. So even in health and well-being, so even in our health, all of it, you have to be living really remotely not to understand that processed foods is poison in our bodies. We know that sugar is poison in our bodies. We know that alcohol does a horrible number on the brain cells and the liver in our bodies. Now, again, once in a while, you have a good immune system, great. You're going to get over it. You're going to enjoy that piece of cake, that birthday cake, or that glass of wine with dinner once in a while. I'm not talking about never, but I'm saying when our American diet is just really pretty bad. It is for a lot of people. And they've been sold a bill of goods by the Food and Drug Administration, who have their hands open. They get their palms greased by food companies telling them, oh, this is good, this is safe, here's our secret reports on it. And it's lousy food. There's no nutritional value, and it's horrible in the body. Our bodies aren't meant to take in fake foods and processed foods and highly chemicalized foods. If it was, we would have it. It'd be growing in the plants, right? We know what we're supposed to eat and how well we should be eating, and yet we don't. Well, why is that? Well, there's addiction problems to sugar or alcohol. There's a mindset of just a false belief of, well, the FDA wouldn't have me eat something that isn't good for me. Cough, cough. It's like, it's all I could afford. It's the cheaper products in the food that's the poisonous stuff, the bad stuff. And then some people just don't have the budget it takes to buy fresh produce or whatever. Or they can tweak it. They might be able to, but they don't. They tell themselves they can't. I'll put it that way. And it's just because of how we're conditioned. I'm not judging anybody. It's just about how we were conditioned. And so for well-being, for all these things that I've discussed over the past several months, is the baseline is, how are we physically? How are we treating ourselves physically? Because eating well, getting the proper nutrition, getting proper exercise. Again, it doesn't mean you have to join a gym. If you want to, you love that, go for it. If you love riding your bike, go for it. But even just walking 20, 30 minutes a day and using your muscles, lifting things. You don't even have to have weights. Just take some heavy things in your house and just lift them over your head about 10 times. Get your muscles moving, get your body activated in just different ways. And drink a lot of fresh water, educate yourself, read, bring new things in your mind. Keep your well-being on an even keel, because that helps with everything else. When we're tired, lethargic, we're not eating well, it makes it difficult to want to do what we need to do to help better ourselves. And it fuels, when we're tired and we're just dehydrated and tired and grumpy and everything, that's fuel for the primitive part of the brain. And so it'll be on overload, the things that you'll feel or tell yourself. So we just have to be really mindful and careful how we take care of ourselves and our bodies, because that will give us the energy and the momentum to do the internal work, the good work, the personal growth work, the development that we need. And so even when it comes to affirmations, you can pick out whatever affirmations you like. There are hundreds, thousands of them. And there are some people who've done beautiful work, even on YouTube, who set up these, with the beautiful tones of voice and the music in the background, and they can help set up your day or help at night to relax you, or have specific, unique, let's say, to work on self-esteem. Or there's all these niches, and look it up, because you could probably find one that suits you, and you can listen to it at any time of the day that suits you, that works for you. I have downloaded one that I listen to every single morning. It's about 22 minutes long. And as I get ready for my day and I get my makeup on and figure out what I'm going to wear, I have it on. And it's a beautiful way. It's all about setting up your day, how my day is going to be. What's my attitude going to be like? I am enough. I can get that done. I will be the kindest person in the room. It's just beautiful. I love it. I love this particular one. And I've listened to a lot of them, but this one resonates with me. I listen to it every morning. And then right after that comes on What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. So that really sets up my day. And then I have a playlist of music after that, a mix of all different kinds of music that if I have time for, I'll listen to. But set your day up for positivity the best you can. And this is on any given day. I'm not talking about, again, when hardship comes or we're grieving. That's a little bit hard to do sometimes when we're in the midst of intense emotion. But just on any given day, just set your day up to be a good one. And you find over time, when you begin to hear these beautiful affirmations, you're not resisting them anymore. You're taking them on. You're going, yeah, yes, that's right. Yes, I can. Yes, it will be a great day. Yes, I will choose to have a better attitude. Yes, whatever the affirmation is, you'll begin to recognize it as part of yourself rather than this part of the brain going, oh no, don't go there. That means you might have to change, stay in your comfort zone, that kind of thing. So here's just a couple of affirmations on well-being that you could say to yourself. The first one is, I am enough. And for this moment in time, this very second, I am enough. I don't have to worry about tomorrow. I don't have to think about the past. Just this moment. I am enough. I believe in my dreams, myself, and all that I am. I believe in my dreams, myself, and all that I am. And we can even go into the I am statements, can't we? We can even break it down. Like that first one, I am enough. I am intelligent. I am learning. I am growing. I am able to tackle the challenges of the day. And it's important, like when we say I am, what do we put after that? We could say, I am tired, I am disappointed, I am. And that's okay to acknowledge those feelings, but how long are we going to hang on to them, right? All day, I'm so tired, I'm so tired, I'm so tired, I'm so tired of it. Yeah, you're going to even be more tired because you're affirming how tired you are, right? But what if we go, I'm tired today, but I'm going to get through this day and it's going to be great anyway. I'm going to do my very best. You can acknowledge that. It's perfectly fine to go kind of tired today, but you know what? I am going to do my best. If we put that after it, instead of I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. Or the process of I'm depressed, I'm so depressed, I'm so depressed. Oh, I'm so depressed, I'm so depressed. Yeah. And it's going to get worse because we keep affirming that. It's understandable at times, like I shared the other day, we have situational depression. That's okay to acknowledge it and to understand it. But then we have to figure out, what can I do to move past this? How can I help myself? And then we go do what we have to do. Like I said, physical well-being, mental well-being, do the best you can. Until nothing works, then go get some help for it. If it's long lasting, no one wants to be in a state of depression that long. It's miserable. So it's good to get the help. It's just talking. Most of the time, it's just talking, getting out the suppressed feelings and thoughts that we have. And just talking can help tremendously in our depression. So there's that. All the I ams we say, right? And you can say, I love myself for who I am. Like I said, shoot, if your higher power, God, spirit, the divine, universe, whatever words you want to say, loves you immensely and unconditionally, who are we not to at least love ourselves a little bit, right? I love myself for who I am. And when you say who I am, think about, what are your positive characteristics? Think about that, like whatever they might be. I'll throw some out, like I'm patient, I tend to be kind, I'm intelligent, I like to make people feel at home, I'm a good cook. Think of all your good qualities for who you are, all the good ones, because we concentrate way too much on the negative ones, right? Which is unnecessary, but we do. So think about all the good ones. And you can say, I create my own happiness. I create my own happiness. Because if you've heard much of what I've said, you understand happiness comes from within. It comes from within. And that joyful part of us, it comes from within us. Now, when great things happen to us and people are nice to us and give us gifts or compliment us, that's like icing on the cake. It's so awesome. But we don't necessarily need to depend on what others have to say to us constantly. It's good to be appreciated. Don't get me wrong. It's good to have a compliment. Absolutely. But if that's our only food, if that's the only way we get happiness, then we're going to be pretty miserable people. We have to find our own happiness. And that can come in a myriad of ways because everybody's different. What makes me happy any given day, you're going to find something different because you have all kinds of wonderful gifts and talents and abilities that I don't possess necessarily. And those things are going to make you happy. So go for it. Create your own happiness. When we create that happiness within ourselves, number one, we're happier people to be around. And we can spread that joy through our energy and through a smile and through affirming someone else during the day. Maybe you're out and about and you're standing next to a lady who might have a pretty brooch on or a nice scarf, or a gentleman with a colorful tie. No harm in complimenting them on it. Say, boy, that's a pretty brooch. Oh, I love the colors in that. Or whatever you notice about somebody. Or maybe how nice they are. Maybe writing a friend just an appreciation letter. Yeah, those things are awesome because when we affirm others, we're affirming ourselves as well. So I just love that idea. When I learned that concept a long time ago, it really helped me. If anybody was the meanest and most critical to me, it was myself in my earlier years. It was me beating myself up constantly because I was trained to do that when I was very young. I thought that's what you do in life, right? And it took me a while to understand the beauty of letting go of that and allowing the better parts, the better compliments, the nicer things to come into my life and into my psyche. Again, not about puffing up my pride. That's not that. It's just acknowledging what's already there. Because don't forget, we have a lot of spiritual DNA in us, and that is beautiful perfection. As humans, it gets dimmed down, dummied down. A lot of times we're not aware of it. We forget about it. But it's always there. And that's the beauty of it. When we are aware of our spiritualness, our spiritual DNA in us, and to build our soul and bring that light to life. So affirmations can work that way on a spiritual level, on well-being, on a mental level. You find the affirmations you love, write them out yourself if you want. Even record. Now here's something. You can record yourself with these affirmations and that you can listen to. So you're hearing your own voice. So you are reaffirming yourself with your own voice. And psychologically, that's really kind of a cool thing to do if you're up for it. Some people are like, I don't like the sound of my voice, so they'd rather not and rather find other, beautiful affirmations on YouTube or wherever they want to find them. But yeah, it's something to think about. You can do it. My life is filled with abundance of goodness. My life is filled with abundance of goodness. Now, here's an opportunity. That's just not a beautiful affirmation, but we can think about the goodness. We can think about gratitude and appreciation of all the beautiful things in our lives, our family, our friends, our children, even our surroundings, the roof over our head. Maybe we have particular furnishings we love, or an antique, or a picture, or a painting. There's a lot of goodness around us where we are, in our environment, where we live, and also outside. The beauty of nature. Beauty. This time of year, being the fall, oh my gosh, I can't get enough. I cannot get enough of the beauty of the trees. Literally makes me cry with just appreciation and gratitude that I can see this. And right now I'm looking at this tree right out my window. For the past 8 years, my front lawn, this tree turns beautiful. I don't even know the color, like peachy coral and yellows. And I've watched it grow, and I've watched the branches extend and the leaves, and the process of the 4 seasons. I love living where there are seasons personally. I lived where there wasn't and was miserable. I like the seasons. I love that process. So, and I've got to see this tree for the past 8 years, going on 9. It just is so mesmerizing to me, and I'm so grateful for it, and it's so beautiful, and I love it. And I love when the spring comes and I can see the little tiny green buds start to grow. It reminds me that's us. That's like us. We're always growing, we're always learning, we're stretching, we get pruned once in a while, we drop some leaves once in a while, so to speak, but it's for the best because new growth is coming. So that's where I go. I know I get a little crazy with affirmations because I dissect them, but you can just keep it simple and say, my life is filled with abundance of goodness. My challenges are actually opportunities. There's a good one. Man, boy, when problems used to arise or challenges, I'd have to dig deep to figure out, how do I deal with this? What do I do? How do I respond? How do I react? Usually I would react and have a victim mindset to a problem. But it's so different now. It's like there are challenges that we can problem solve, that we can get over. We can jump that hurdle, so to speak. Sometimes we need to elicit advice or information, maybe hire someone to help, whatever it might be, but we can do it. We can get over it. We can make it work. There's a book Marie Forleo wrote a few years back called Everything is Figure-Outable. And isn't that true? Everything is figure-outable. I love that title because it's so unique. But when we have that opportunity, we can do that. We can know that there's figure-outable ways to get over challenges, and that's so amazing. And the last one here that I'll share is, I am beautiful just the way I am. And you could put any word into that. You could say beautiful, you could say handsome, you could say remarkable, amazing. You could say talented, just the way I am. That's all you need to do. You could say just simple, beautiful ways of affirming yourself and who you are and where you are in life. So that's what I wanted to share today. And I think I'll end it there. Go, and I would just say, go find some really wonderful affirmations for yourself and be really aware when you start hearing positive affirmations of I'm beautiful, or I'm handsome, or I'm talented. And you're all of a sudden, this part of the little lizard brain wants to go, no, you're not. Don't tell yourself that. You don't kid yourself. Who do you think you are? Those are just old recordings of old paradigms that we are trying to erase and get rid of. And so when you're aware of that, you can say, just shut up, go away. I believe this, and put feeling behind it, excitement behind it, gratitude behind it. It's amazing. Because again, the more you do it, like the more I listen to this 22 minutes of getting my day ready, I can't tell you, I've been doing it for probably 6 weeks. And there might have been a couple mornings I skipped, I was in a hurry or whatever, but I can't wait to listen to it now, because now I go, yes, that's right, I can. Yes, I can be that. Yes, I can do that. Yes, I can. Instead of paying attention to, this is a joke. What are you thinking? You can't do that. That's not right. Forget it. So go find some beautiful affirmations for yourself, or write them out for yourself. And however you can accept them. Is it early in the morning? Is it maybe in the middle of the day when you can take 5 or 10 minutes? Is it in the evening, or all three? I mean, I have an evening kind of meditation affirmation thing that I can listen to. So we need that sometimes, and that's going to help us. That's going to help us be better humans, and to affirm that we are the power that we are meant to have, instead of diminish it. A beautiful power, a loving power, a creative power. It's okay to say, yeah, that's me, and affirm it in others. It's beautiful. So, okay, I just want to keep it there. I want to keep it on an up level, and I really hope that you have a great day and find your affirmations that suit you best. And I want to wish you a great day. Take care. You are amazing. You are a miracle on this planet, and these affirmations will prove it to you. You're a miracle. You're unique. There's only one of you, and you matter. You truly, truly matter because of who you are. Don't ever forget that. See you Friday. Bye for now.